This is our gentle restorative practice for this week. And I thought that we would do a little ViniYoga because the last couple of weeks we've done more restorative. And I just want to talk a little bit about ViniYoga. And um, ViniYoga is something that stems from Deskachar, who was the son of Krishnamacharya. Krishnamacharya is considered the godfather of modern yoga. He was the teacher of BKS Iyengar, and Iyengar created his own style of yoga, which is very precision oriented, very meticulous with alignment. It's all about the skeletal system and engaging certain muscles properly. And we have them to thank for creating all these great props that we use in yoga because they also make it more accessible for people. And then Krishnamacharya was also the teacher of Patabi Joyce, who created Ashtanga Yoga, where they don't use as many props and it's very movement oriented. It's a heating practice. It requires, a lot of strength and bendiness to it. And that style is completely different from the ViniYoga. So you can see how one teacher had all of these different students, and we're just talking about 3 different students today, who all took a piece of philosophy or their own experience with yoga, and they kind of ran with it. So ViniYoga is a more gentle and often called therapeutic form of yoga, even though honestly, I think all yoga is therapeutic in its own way. But ViniYoga is something that coordinates with the breath. And it's not just coordinating with the breath as if we were doing a sun salutation. It's entering and exiting out of a pose or moving between 2 different poses, and you're coordinating and matching it with the breath. And it could be super simple movement, or it could also move into a category that's a little bit more complex. I think you guys have done this with me before, even if I didn't call it ViniYoga. So it shouldn't be that unfamiliar. The other thing I'll say that makes this style different, it's function over form. So instead of all the meticulous alignment, it's basically let's just move our body. It doesn't have to be as engaged necessarily. And then we do repetition. And that repetition, I've mentioned in the past, is especially good if you're feeling arthritic in certain places of your body. I used to have a student years ago who was arthritic, and she loved this style of yoga. And she would tell me, motion is my lotion. So as we age and as we slowly start to lose a little bit of that life force energy that keeps us so vibrant and youthful, unfortunately, the joints become a little bit more dry, a little bit more brittle, a little bit more pained or achy. And so if you are arthritic in certain places, yin is not the best idea, right? And yin yoga is where we get in a pose and we just hold it and steep in it in a really relaxed way for a long period of time. So I'm sharing this with you because if you join me in the yin flow yoga, there may be times where it's actually more appropriate for you to come up and out of the pose or to flow in a particular way that's very slow and methodical versus steeping in it in stillness. So remember kind of this recipe and notice how it affects your body and how it allows you to feel, because you may need to incorporate this in some other practices on another day. All right, so we're going to meet on the mat. I would like you to begin sitting on a bolster, please. So we'll begin sitting at the edge of a bolster where we have that little pelvic tilt forward to give us a neutral spine. And let your hands rest down on your lap. Close your eyes. and to tune into yourself. Notice what you're bringing to the mat with you today, both mentally and physically. And then once you've assessed yourself, begin your deep yogic breaths. A go-to breath for ViniYoga style is an Ujjayi breath, the oceanic sounding breath. However, the breath isn't as amplified. So it's a little quieter, a little softer, but you can still hear it, almost like a whisper. Listening to the soft whisper can help you to coordinate your movement to sync up with your breath. Let's draw the hands together to prayer and open up the eyes, and we'll start. Inhale, let your arms circle wide and overhead. Look straight ahead with your eyes, and then exhale, bring your hands down your midline to your heart. Continue this with repetition. The initiation of the in-breath sweeps the arms. The end of the inhalation creates the stillness. The initiation of the out-breath begins bringing the hands together, and the end of the exhalation, the hands are to the sternum. We're going to incorporate something extra this time. Inhale, the arms sweep up, lean your head back and look towards your hands. Exhale, lower your eyes as your hands bow to your heart, and then drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, arms lift, head leans back, gaze up. Exhale, trace the hands with your eyes as they pour down to the heart, and bow your head. Two more. Final one. Now bring the chin to be parallel to the floor. Extend your arms in front of you and create fist. And you're going to rotate your wrist. And notice what else it affects, not just your hands and wrist, but feel what happens as it moves upward in the arms. And then reverse that rotation. Release. Let's extend the legs out in front of us. And we're going to point the toes as we breathe in. Flex the ankles as we breathe out. Points on the in-breath. Flex the ankles on the out-breath. A few more. Set. Good. Now let's scoot away from that bolster And your left shin is going to be placed in front of you. I believe we did this yesterday, but we're going to do it again today. So it's like the half pigeon. And even though it's function over form in ViniYoga, I still want you to kind of consider so the shin's parallel to the top edge of your mat and it frames your hips in a way. And then lean forward into your hands and keep your spine fairly straight. And as you exhale, bend your arms and bow. Inhale lifts us back up. Exhale, we hinge back down. Nice, slow, even breaths. And also be aware if one breath rolls into the next, you're just going to keep it going. However, if you have that still point at the top of the inhale or at the end of the exhale, you can pause briefly. Last one. When you come up today, the left hand is going to slightly go behind the left hip. The right arm is going to reach to the right side. All right, when you inhale, the arm circles in front of you and overhead. You tuck the tailbone and lift your seat. And as you exhale, sit down and sweep the arm back. All right, this is the new flow. Good, and then we'll swap sides. So the right shin will now cross in front. The left knee is bent and alongside us. Lean forward into your hands. And let's begin. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, straighten the arms and back and lift. It's almost like a rocking motion, back and forth as you breathe. Try not to get too mechanical or only think about the physical. Truly allow this to be a moving, breathing meditation. Affirming a rise above the past and future to this moment and now. And as this becomes a moving, breathing meditation, it will establish you in the now moment. So ViniYoga actually translates to mean appropriate application. Appropriate application. Couple more. When you come up, the right hand will slightly come behind you, left arm to the left side, and then inhale, let the arm sweep and your seat lift off the ground. Exhale, sit down and fan the arm back. Last one. Let's bring that left foot around in front and let's allow the feet to meet. And we're just going to sit up tall and let the knees rock up and down. Now, for this one, this is an exception. We're not going to be breathing the knees up and breathing the knees down. We're just fluttering them up and down in a fairly quick way. Still maintaining that same rhythmic breath, however. All right. Inhale, lift to the top of the head. Exhale, hinge forward. Now we're coordinating with the breath. Inhaling back up. Exhale, bow forward. So we're not even necessarily trying to find our edge of flexibility with this. Just let the motion be your lotion. I love that phrasing. Remember, we are trying to control the breath, attempting to slow it down. Which is why the movement is not as quick and it is also slowed down. Once you come back up, bring the knees together. And you're going to cup a hold of your shins with your hands. The inhale, the crown of the head lifts. The exhale, we scoop in through the belly and round the back. Inhale, we straighten the spine and sit up tall. Exhale, we round it back. So there's no cow with the cat. It's a simple extension of the spine as we breathe in and a rolling back as we breathe out. You can do this with eyes open or shut. The next time you inhale and rise, we're going to lean to one side so that we can swish the legs behind us and come up to tabletop position. Now we'll go into the full cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Create a saddle effect here with your low back. And as you exhale, drop and tuck the tailbone, scoop into the belly, and bow the head. Flexing the spine both ways. We're going to amp this up a little bit. So form tabletop first. Right leg shoots back behind you and slightly up, but also tilt your head up. And then as you exhale, round it. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, contract, curl in. Continue. And lower the knee. Left leg back. Same idea. Same flow, second side. Now that we've been on our hands a bit, after your next cat stretch maneuver, be on the knees, pick your hands up, and come to standing Vajrasana. You're going to rotate your wrists and slowly lift the arms overhead. Then reverse the rotation of the hands as the arms come down. Little counter maneuver after that weight bearing. Reverse the circles. Arms relift. Swap the circles as you breathe the arms down. One more. May get a few little cracks and pops in your wrists. I don't know if you hear mine. All right, shake it out. Okay, we're coming back down to the hands, but we're gonna come to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips way up in the air. And so the new flow is going to be inhaling through tabletop, exhaling to child's or down dog. So in other words, just follow along. Inhale, come down to your knees. Exhale, push back to child's. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, lift off to down dog. Inhale through table. Exhale, child's. This is the new repetitious flow. Last set. So we'll meet in child's. Let your elbows rest a moment. And affirm as you hold. I now relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. Inhale, rock forward to table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward, one step at a time, until the feet are side by side. You're rolling over and down. But in ViniYoga, remember it's function over form. So we're not rooting the feet necessarily. We're not engaging the kneecaps or quadriceps. It's a little bit more relaxed. But instead of being yin with the static hold, we're going to move up and down. So inhale, let your arms move forward and build you up to stand. Now the palms are going to face out. And as you exhale, you come back over. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. So it's different than the swan dive. Two more. You bring the hands down this time, grab your blocks. That'll help with some sturdiness. Step your right foot back, swivel the foot down, bring the right arm up, then your left, then hang the right arm back and lift your left arm overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the elbow to the knee, the right arm to side angle. So this is the new flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle. Just breathe it up. Breathe it down. Cartwheeling the upper body, back and forth. Last one. Bring both hands to the block. Step the back foot forward. Immediately step your left foot back. Swizzle down to the back heel. Left arm up, then the right. Then the left arm hangs back and the right arm reaches overhead. And then flow. Inhale, bringing you up to stand. Opening up the right side body. Exhale, propping you onto the knee, opening the left side body. One more flow. Bringing the hands to the block, spinning off the back heel. Let's touch down the back knee. Bring the right knee back to join. And then we're going to come down onto the belly. So you can set your hands forward and just come down to a prone position. We're going to seesaw up and down. So the hands are going to be located up underneath the shoulders. The inhale is going to lift your head, shoulders, chest. The exhale, you come down to the brow, but you lift your legs and feet. Inhale, seesaw the head up, feet down. Exhale, face down, feet up. Last one. Lower your feet, push through table, and take your right leg out to the side. Turn your right palm, take stargazer. Exhale, look down and thread the arm underneath your waist. Inhale, stargazer. Exhale, loop the arm under and continue. Last one. After you sail the arm up, we'll place it back down. Lower the right knee down and take your left leg to your left side. Flip your left hand. Stargazer as you inhale. Loop the arm under on your exhale. Last one. Now bring both the left limbs to table, long enough to shift back onto one hip. Send the legs out in front. We're actually going to be rolling down to the back. And we're going to hover the feet so the knees stay right over the rim of the pelvis. Your arms are going to stretch out, but your palms are going to be turned down for this. And you're going to lean the knees over to the left as you exhale. Inhale, bring the knees back up. Exhale, lean the knees a few inches to the right. Inhale the knees back up. And so continue this maneuver. So the hands being face down can give you a little bit more control. And contracting the core can also help you maintain a sense of control. Now start to pour the knees about halfway down towards the earth. Notice we're massaging the outer hips, the piriformis, portion of the glute muscles. Now that you've done this several rounds, we're going to take it a little deeper. Next time you come through center and move to the left, take the knees and feet almost to the floor, but then come back up. And then send them to the right, almost to the floor, and then come back up. This time when you go to the left, maybe send your feet down and your knees almost down. Come back up. Send it to the right. Let your feet spill, your knees almost, and bring it back through the middle. So we're slowly taking it deeper and deeper into our twist. Now realign to the middle and hug your knees in. So after all that twisting back and forth, it's important to reset the back. And that's what we're going to do with this final flow before we restore. So inhale, let your arms expand to the sides. This time the palms are open. Fly the feet in the air. And then exhale, wrap your arms around bent knees. Inhale, straighten your legs up and your arms out. Exhale, knees bend. Inhale, this gentle waterfall. Exhale, wind release. And as you coordinate this with your pranayama, affirm internally, new peace, new consciousness is flooding through my being. New peace, new consciousness is flooding through my being. Now hug your knees in. Roll to one side. Pick yourself up. And we're going to take 2 blocks on their lowest height together across the mat. The bolster is going to stand up and angle so the legs can flip over. Yesterday, my friend gifted me with a float for Christmas. And I used to float a lot in 2016, 17, and 18. And I realized I haven't done it really since then. But you float in salt water, so much salt that your body's buoyant. But even yesterday, when you get an hour in the float tank, I found it took about 10 minutes for my shoulders and neck to finally relax. And I was trying all these different arm positions to find the perfect spot. So you can do the same thing here in Shavasana. Maybe your hands want to rest on the body, maybe away from the body. And if away from the body, are they going to be open or downturned? Are they going to be beside you, out like a T, or up above? So just explore the options. Find what suits you. Then rest and breathe. take the feet and stand them on top of that bolster. Notice how it tucks the tailbone and lengthens the low back even more, flattening it down. So if you're the kind of person who bends the knees during Shavasana, remember this. It gives you something similar to Stonehenge, but with the feet down. All right, let's roll the weight to one side. Come on up to take a seat. We'll end our practice today, bringing our hands to prayer. Om, Om, Om. And we walk away feeling more at peace in our bodies, peace in our minds, peace in our hearts.